Hey friends, welcome to One Little Coder. Have you ever wondered if you could access JupyterLab on Google Colab? So we all know that Google Colab is a hosted Jupyter environment, but do you know you can also access JupyterLab on Google Colab? So in this video, we're going to see how to access JupyterLab on Google Colab with the support of ColabCode package and also ngrok. So let's go step by step, and before we move on, I'm just going to show you how the final outcome looks like, and then we'll move forward and then see the video. So first of all, this is how it looks. So you can see that I have got an ngrok URL, and then there is a Jupyter Lab environment. So I can create a new console or new notebook, or I can even close the existing ones. No kernel, close it. So the same way you use JupyterLab on your personal machine, you can actually use JupyterLab on Google Colab. And you might now ask me, like, why do I have to do, what is the advantage? So the advantage is Google Colab comes by default with Swift, R and Python, 3 languages. So if you are somebody who wants to code in either of these languages and you want an IDE which is not just a notebook type but like a proper IDE, then JupyterLab is really the thing that you would like to use. And you can actually see that, for example, if you want to go start a new text file, you can actually start a new text file and then you can start writing R code. Or if you want to go and then start an R environment, so you can say, okay, plot iris. So whatever you want to do, you can actually do with this Google Colab environment, and this JupyterLab on Google Colab, and that is the biggest advantage. So let's quickly go ahead and then see what are we going to do. So first we are going to install this package ColabCode. Second, we are going to create an account on ngrok. And third, we are going to take our ngrok authentication and we are going to put everything on Google Colab. So let me create a new notebook. So the way you can create a new notebook is you can just put colab.2, you will get a new notebook. While the notebook is getting loaded, the notebook is loaded. So I'm going to title this notebook saying JupyterLab on Google Colab with ColabCode. So once again, thanks to the developer Abhishek Thakur for making this library and continuous update. So we recently had a video where we demonstrated how you could deploy your machine learning model using Fast API and ColabCode. Please check it out if you have not. So the first thing is you need to install ColabCode. So just make sure that you are upgrading. So if you already have ColabCode installed, while it is getting installed, let's quickly go and then create a ngrok account. So the simplest way you can do is log into your Google account and then say login with Google. Once you click login with Google, so you would be greeted with this environment. So currently you could see my authentication token, but never show your authentication token to anyone. I'm going to reset my authentication token at the end of this video. So this is the authentication token that we need. We don't need anything else from this. So basically sign up for the account, log in with the Google account, and then get the authentication token. Copy this token. You can either add it to the environment, but I'm just going to add it as a variable here. I'm going to call it auth token equal to whatever it is. And just because I'm going to share this notebook, I'm going to delete this cell. Just keep auth token to something. Okay, that we don't need. So the next thing is, so first we managed to successfully install ColabCode, and then the next thing we are going to do is, let me open a couple of more cells so that we can go to the top. Yeah, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to invoke the function that we need, which is, in this case, we have to first call the package ColabCode, import ColabCode as cc. Okay, I'm using the alias cc dot colab. You should notice that the C here is caps uppercase, and then the C is also uppercase. ColabCode, and within that you can define the following parameters. So port, which port you want it to be, password if you want your environment to be password protected, the authentication token from ngrok, and then if you want to mount your Google Drive, and also if you want VS Code or if you want JupyterLab. So in this case we are going to open JupyterLab. So let me quickly say port. I want it in the port 12,000, and I don't want any password. Auth token is equal to auth token, and then finally I'm going to say lab is equal to true. So in this step, let me zoom in if you cannot see. I'm going to say JupyterLab. ColabCode. Yeah, so in this particular step you can see that I'm actually showing yeah, I think you can probably see this. Let me zoom out a little bit. So in this step you can actually see that I have invoked ColabCode as CC, imported the library, and then I'm saying CC plus CC dot ColabCode. In this C and C are uppercase, and then define the port number, give the authentication token we just created some time back, and then say lab is equal to true. So lab is equal to true. So lab is equal to true is going to tell ColabCode that we want to invoke JupyterLab. Once you run this, so you would get the URL where, okay, it says that I have multiple ngrok registered the same session, so I need to kill the session. So I need to probably close this session in this, but otherwise I'll just quickly show you what will happen. So let me click this link, and you can actually see when I run that, this is what happens. When I run that, I would get a ngrok I would get an ngrok URL which says that I'm parsing it from a local host, and then I would get an authentication token, and all we have to do is copy that authentication token and put it when the ngrok JupyterLab is first time opened. So in this case I've already opened it, so it has just opened it, but if I have not opened it before, then that's what I have to do. So let us quickly go and then see. Yeah, let's go and see what is in there, which is, let's open the Python Jupyter notebook. So whatever I want to type, I can just close it, and type import pandas as pd, import SNS cbon as SNS. This is all available already, because primarily, if you know that Google Colab comes up with basic data science packages, tips, and then SNS is equal to, and then you can say tips is not one of the example data sets, sorry. Yeah, and then now we can say that SNS dot scatter plot of x is equal to total bill, and y is equal to tip, and data is equal to tips. When we run this, we get the scatter plot. So we have successfully hosted or invoked the JupyterLab that is already available on Google Colab with the help of package ColabCode, and then we have created a Python notebook. So now let's say that we want to create a notebook which is R notebook. So I can say, instead of Python kernel, click R and select R, and then now after I select R, I can simply say whatever I want to say. Okay, plot iris or iris dollar, whatever I want to do, sepal length, comma iris dollar petal length, run it, you get the plot. So this is basically it. So what we have learned in this video is how to create an ngrok account, which is again login with Google, then install the package ColabCode, and then how to invoke this ColabCode's JupyterLab instance. So you have to primarily say lab is equal to true. Also JupyterLab, as the developer has mentioned, JupyterLab's URL changes a lot, so like the instance keeps on pinging, so you need to have a stable URL, otherwise the URL might change. So that is why we are advocating to get your own authentication token, and then use that authentication token. And this is the JupyterLab token. When you install it for the first time, you would get this JupyterLab token, and then you need to use that. And also, if you want to evaluate your sessions, current sessions, you can go here and see what are all the tunnels that are already open for you. If you want to see from where it is open, so this is another ideal way for you to understand if somebody else is opening it. And the other thing is, if you have already invoked JupyterLab session here, it is entirely possible that you can open it somewhere else also. Let's say probably you are working on your laptop, and then now you are switching to your browser. So let me quickly open a new private window with Tor. So it's a probably new setup. So now if you try to open this link, it would still open a JupyterLab instance. Let's quickly see that. The Tor just get connected. So at this point it would ask you that you need to enter the authentication token. So go back to your Colab environment and get the authentication token, JupyterLab token that you got, and come back and enter the password or token and click login, and then you would get the JupyterLab environment. So basically you can even switch device you can even switch devices and then get the same content that you are working on, because it's the same JupyterLab instance, the same machine that Google has allocated for you. You can leverage GPU, TPU, whatever you like. So you, as you can see, we just see the code that we created. So all the codes that we created is available here. So even if the machine is different, you can still access, and this is really a great thing, a big advantage for anyone who wants to use any device that is not probably your like computer. If you are somebody who cannot afford computer, a computer is not available, if you're a student from a developing place, so you don't have to be worried about your infrastructure. This is an awesome way to use an amazing machine like Google Colab for your data science purposes. And once again, thanks to Abhishek Thakur for update to this package, ColabCode, that has helped us in getting this thing. So if you like this package, please go to if you like this package, please give a shout out to the developer, and also make sure that you star the repository, which is the least we could do for all the open source contributors. So thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, stay safe.